Alright, sweet. Looks like we're live. Getting decent levels. Can always change that if that's not the case later. But welcome everyone to the official first music composition stream. You might have seen a couple of these before, and that's because I was running some tests beforehand, and those streams did not go the best, but I've learned from those. I've gained wisdom, and that's all in hopes that this stream will be running smoothly. But we are going to be composing a song or continuing to work on an existing piece that I've been sharing my journey with. So let's see. This is the title theme for a 2D platformer, Omni, and I'm just pulling up a reference image right now to help me with inspiration. And it's been about a week since I've been able to work on this, so I'm going to have to go ahead and listen to what I got going on, and we'll work from there. Let's see. Nice. So I am processing what I just listened to and am deciding where I want to start. I remember being pretty happy with the intro. I have some like minor changes that I want to make, but I don't think that's going to be our focus to start. I'd really like to flesh out some ideas that will add some duration to this piece. Give it one more listen. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna start with this second frame here because I want to make sure that I have all ideas established before continuing into the next measure so that I'll have a better idea as to what instruments I'm going to be working with. So let's see. I want to hear how that sounds transitioning from the pickup measure. Okay, let's take a look at that lead, which I think is the DSP8 channel. Right. Got a bit of harmony stuff going on there. Oh yeah, this is starting to remember. Okay, so there are a few elements going into that lead. Some echoey stuff, some harmony, action. That's an interesting progression right there from the bass. I feel like that might sound out of place. That kind of sounds like a whole different vibe. This channel 5 here, that bass. Hold on, here it comes. I'm gonna have to listen to it in full. Let's try the SNES channels, just those. does sound pretty good in full. Okay, hold on. Hmm. The question that I have for myself right now is what is lacking? What isn't enough? So I guess questions, because something is off and I'm just trying to decide what it is. Um, I feel like it'd be cool if so I'm messing with here. Not the full thing, but just this saw channel. Yeah, I feel like it'd be cool if that crescendoed, but then like jump back down. So dun 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 dun. Yeah, so maybe. Let's hear how that beginning sounds. Yeah, I think I wanted for that to be more evident, but I didn't want it to suddenly exist out of nowhere. So I think having it creep in like that is pretty nice. Pulling up my browser right now because I need to have my tab open. I use this tab called Cool Conversion, uh, that converts decimal numbers into hexadecimal because sometimes I brain fart on what value a certain number is if you were just referring to like original numeric values and not hexadecimal. Where's the salt? There it is. So 10 is A. Okay, but I want to know what. So I meant what is 10 in hexadecimal? Like the. So it's 16. Okay, that's what I thought. Uh, the reason I need this information is because it's gonna determine how I input these numbers for the build up. Because right here, A. That might be fine. I think I might roll with that. I don't think it needs to get any louder after it reaches 10, which means I'll be that same crescendo. I'm just gonna have it. Oh wait, there's something unique going on right here. Let's figure out what this sounds like. That's right. What was I using? I had so 3B. There's a few different instruments. So 39, just the pluck, 3B, cymbal, and then 3C kick. Kick is where we're hearing that funky oomph. So let's. Yeah, and I don't think that should get quieter. I don't even know if I want that to start quiet like it's been doing and then crescendo. I might have it stay loud and then actually build up. Let's hear what it sounds like with everything else. Hmm. I am not sure right now. Not sure what I want, but we're just gonna play this back and yeah, because I got these accents going on by having different instruments in the saw channel. So like, oh, that was the echo effect coming in. Well, play from the beginning. Nah, I can work with that for now. I might change it later. Hmm. I don't think the focus though should be the saw. Like I put the crescendo in, I think prematurely. I think it should stay silent for a little bit at the beginning of this measure because it's a bit too noticeable, and I don't want it to be the focus. Having just come off the pickup measure. That's better. Yeah, stay silent for a little bit. Um, let's look at the thing I got going on between the pulse channels, or two of them. Okay. I like the effect. I like that attack effect. I remember creating that last stream. I don't know if I like the notes. I like the notes at the beginning, the first half, but I think the second half might get changed. Hmm. Maybe I want for it to get louder, and I feel like the lead needs to be louder. It's a bit too, it blends a bit too well with everything else, and I feel like it needs to stand out on top. Is it me, or does the beginning of that measure feel dry? I feel like we should be coming off of something big. It might be because you only feel that coming off the pickup measure. There might be things that aren't playing unless I come from the pickup measure. I might I might just move on. I might move on and come back if I have a more solid idea as to what I want to change. But I mean, for the most part, it feels like I have all of my ideas pretty set in place as far as for what roles I want each channel to have. Um, so I think I can start working on the next measures. And I'll just be listening to that again, though, to reinforce that thought. Alright, so I'm just going to hash out my next idea for the sawtooth channel. I'm just going to use the pluck instrument for now, and then I'll start adding other instruments to account for the accents and whatnot. But all I care about right now are the notes. That tends to be what I always care about when I'm making something for the first time, are just having the notes down and then focusing on the qualities of those notes. So let me listen to, let's see. Go up an octave, up another octave. Just for now, I'm just copy pasting everything from that previous measure. It's not going to be the same notes, but I'm just trying to get that feel implemented into the next measure to help inspire me. Because I'm going to be wrapping up the idea that I presented in frame 1 in frame 2, and then frame 3 is going to be where I start introducing some of the more heroic qualities that I have in mind for this piece. Or maybe evil. I don't know how I want to describe that. Right. How do I want to continue this? it's off time. How do I keep doing that? Keep making that off time. That is something along the lines of what I want, I think. Let's go here. And as for how I want it to feel, I think I want to use the same instrumental sequence that I did. So I'm just going to copy this. Paste. Maybe. Could change that later. But for now, seems like a pretty laid out plan. Thinking about that lead right now. How do I want to have that move fourth? Actually, I did not. I do not recall the triangle being that inactive. I was expecting to hear more from that. Uh, oh, wait, that might be why. Okay, I didn't realize I had changed the frame. Let's go ahead and look at our NES instruments. Let's see. Down an octave. Hmm. That idea doesn't sound like it works well with the saw. Had some thoughts for the arpeggios. Actually, let's just put in the existing progression from this previous measure, because I feel like the effect is going to be the same, but I'm once again just going to be changing the notes. Little mix up there at the end. It's even in a different timbre. I got like a different pulse width going on, which, if anyone's confused by what I just said there, I'm using the 12XX command on this pulse wave channel to change the amount of pulse width that is happening to the sound wave. And when that happens, your track or your instrument will develop a different timbre because of that different pulse width. I think it keeps things interesting. I'm probably going to be changing those triangle notes. Most definitely, honestly. I don't know what they're going to be changed to. I like the placement. I just don't think I'm going to like the notes once I get these other ideas put down. I keep wanting to start on the lead for this measure, but then I start going to other tracks and fleshing out my ideas for those, because those just seem to be popping into my head first. See, like, I really like the way that the lead tapers off there. Excuse me. Little yawn. We're good. But yeah, I like the way that the lead tapers off there, which means that I want for it to finish that taper. I don't want to just throw in an instrument at the beginning of one of these measures, because let's say that I did, right? Here's what's going to happen. And I'm just putting the off effect. You can pretend that these off notes are a different instrument coming into play. So there isn't as much of a taper, you know, because everything's getting, oops, good golly, I just Control Z the crap out of that. Didn't go too far. I think I might actually put down a note to help tie up that idea. Just feels unfinished. It's probably going to be E2. And while that is tapering off, so this will be the taper, because let's just work with what we got, right? I'm going to want to have something happening at the beginning of each and every one of these tracks, because something just needs to happen to maintain the momentum that I've developed, which means sacrificing the way the decay or the release of our flutes, because they're going to get cut off prematurely by whatever instruments I put at the beginning of the next measure. But if I use this track with this note here to finish up the idea being proposed by the flutes, that being the lead, then I think it's going to tie things together nicely and allow for the listener to move on pretty smoothly. And that's going to be complemented with something from the bass line that will also help us move on. So let me... What number is our bass? Is it E? Slap bass, yeah. Let me not just place that right there. Where was the instrument? Where was the bass doing its thing? Sometimes I throw it around between different tracks. So I was right. It is DSP5. See, it started in 7, but then for some reason, I'm sure there's a good one, I threw it over to 5. I think it was because I wanted to have the lead parts over here in their own spot, but there might have been another reason. I think I had the bass tapering at some points. So I'm using the FA XX command to do a volume slide, or I was at some points. I think that'll be nice to have right here. And just even have it a little bit after the end point of the portamento. Like, I don't want it to start fading out as the note is sliding from one to the other. That's what 03XX is doing. It's portamento, and it just means, hey, this next note that you're playing, slide into it. Don't just jump to the note. Slide into it from the note that was playing before it. You can hear the way it slides. And the whole point of the value is to determine the speed at which it does it. So I'm having it start the slide right at the beginning of the note, but then I'm using FA a couple ticks down to begin the fade. And yeah, that echo click effect is playing. That's because I have it still active for whichever instrument I was using that for. Sorry about that. You wouldn't hear it if you were coming into the measure. It's just something that you have to deal with when you are composing in the project. I might keep that taper. Not sure from FA0, or I might reset it. See what happens if I take it away. Question I have for myself now is, how was I using the slap bass before? Is this too much of a vibe swap? Like, Yeah, right there. That sort of like triplet thing I got going on there, I feel like isn't going to be fitting for the slat bass. I kind of like that staccato thing I had going on. In fact, what if it slid to the note super quickly right there, but then did a downward pitch slide? It's going to need to slide up faster. It's not arriving at the note. I want it to be able to sustain that note for just a little bit before sweeping downward. Yeah, that's probably going to sound cool. Uh, is there echo happening there? It's a choppy echo. I think I just want that to cut off dryly. Uh, I need to analyze the behavior of my echo from the previous measure because I think I've become unfamiliar with it in the time that I have been away. So, let's see, F80 stuff is the panning. F4, if I can find it. There you go. That's a volume slide, fine volume slide down. Oh, that's right. That's the more subtle volume slide because I wanted it to do it slower. Because when you do it by like hexadecimal or just use regular volume slide, it either happens too fast or it happens incrementally, which in some cases isn't really noticeable and is fine. You see me do it all the time, like right here. But there are other cases in which I'd much prefer a more fine-tuned volume control. Volume slide here. I actually don't see where the echo is coming into play, and that might be because I don't do anything special with it. Oh, here we go. 30, 60. I'm setting the echo filter coefficient 1 or 0 to this value. Yeah, and I mean that echo, which was intended for the flute, is affecting the bass, I think, because I never intentionally set an echo for the bass. I never planned for the bass to echo. But I think because I was instrument juggling between the flute and the bass, I ended up inadvertently giving it echo. That sounds a little funky right now, but in my head, it's like my brain is going, this is going to be dope because I have an idea for the lead that I haven't implemented yet that I think with all these underlying factors playing alongside of it is going to end up creating a pretty cool atmosphere. It's also a matter of what I want to do with the marimba. I don't want the marimba to dismiss itself afterwards because I mean it's doing a thing. It's doing a thing in one of these measures. I haven't addressed what the marimba is going to continue to do, nor the strings. Dope. Okay. Let's bring everything back in. Set echo feedback. Set echo delay. Enable echo buffer. I need to understand these effects more because I think what I want to do is turn off the echo for the bass right there. Which the reason I'm tripping up right now is if I turn it off, does that turn it off for every other instrument? Every Super Nintendo instrument, no matter the track that it's on. Like, I think I'm confusing myself. I'm probably overthinking this. 1C set echo feedback, that was 60. So that happens. I'm looking at the first measure right now. That's when that gets set. And that is probably a universal command, meaning no matter the instrument and its echo, it's going to have this level of feedback. Then that's the fine volume slide. Yep. Okay. Crap. I already forgot what that command was. So 1CXX. We're going to put that to 0 in this measure. First, let's listen to the bass. We'll get a little before and after action. So like right there, I don't want to hear it echo. So if I put it to 1C0, that is pretty abrupt. Maybe just make it weaker. Yeah, I think that allows for it to not exist more appropriately. Oh yeah, I should be saving my project as I make progress. Make sure you do that. Control S, little Control S action, and then manually clicking because I don't believe in shortcut keys sometimes. Trust issues. No more jokes. Distracting myself. I believe that I want for the harmony or a harmony, like a flute one, to become more noticeable in this measure, and that I want for something else to inherit the lead that was currently being driven by the flute in the previous measure. And that is still tapering off. I mean, I like the fade off, but that means I'm just gonna have to reset the volume because it just is it's not existing after a little bit. Oh yeah, you didn't hear that note because I have it in a different one. There's a good question that I'm asking myself is why did I put this part of the lead in a different track? It's because I want for this note right here to continue tapering and not get interrupted by the follow-up note. Also, I have the pan set to the left ear in this track, which actually sounds pretty cool, so I think I'm going to ride with that. That wasn't intended, but it happened because I easily forget what effects are active that I set previously, especially after being gone for a week. Have some accent note action. I actually like the way it fades off and then could come back. That would help with the pulse of the song. I don't even know if that's sliding. I don't think it's sliding because the volume reaches 0 before arriving at that note. This is me trying to use portamento right here. It might be sliding. Oh, you know what it is? It is because the notes are so close together. Like, here, hold on. Yeah, it's the notes are a literal half step away from one another, which means that if I want to have what I'm aiming for, which is a very slow slide from one note to the other, my portamento value probably needs to be the lowest it can be. Okay, that's too slow. At least we have that type of flexibility. I like that. There's something about this that I like and something about it that I dislike currently. Uh, and yeah, I'm not gonna elaborate on that because I don't know what I like and dislike yet. Okay, okay. I've been saying this to myself multiple times, which means it's probably true, but the leads right there are just so quiet. Yeah, that sounds too cool to be as quiet as it is. Like, listen to that with everything else. Also, that note right there, da, 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 F sharp, that might be cool to have portamento on. It's the intro of the lead for the first time. It's the first time you're hearing it, and I want for it to be funky, kind of. Not funky. Funky might not be the right word, but like that's really fast portamento going on right there. Like right here is where I might put slower portamento. Oh gosh, what did I just do? Is this even the right instrument? I think it is. Oh, oh. Hold on. That's a different note. Oh, I'm silly. It's because I'm using the E1 XY command. Note slide up. It's already doing something in semitones. Like it's sliding up a certain speed in semitones. Uh, which are like half steps, I'm pretty sure, in terms of pitch. Let's experiment with that. Because, I mean, that's just another way for your note to slide up or down in pitch. Well, to slide down in pitch, you would need the E2XY command. But you get what I was saying there. I'm saying that, like, the principles are pretty similar, but yield a different, like, effect. Which, if you're really meticulous about the way that you want for a note to be a grace note or to slide from one to the other, like your glissando or whatnot, then that's when your decision between the portamento effect or the note slide effects would probably become important. And then, of course, in your instrument editor, like, you could just be messing with the attack, decay, sustain, release, or, oh my gosh, there it is. The arpeggio, the pitch, like for the instrument itself. There were just so many ways to do the same thing, but for the effect to be somewhat different that allow for you to bring a unique vibe to the table, like your style of doing things. Okay, anyways, I just forgot what I was gonna do because I'm talking, just talking. Okay, 03, this is what I wanted. I wanted to test. If I'm going to test this, then I'm going to have to change the note. So. Just got to make sure that we know how to change this back. It's clicking. Let's try 05. Okay. It's like not even noticeable. The slide, it just became like not noticeable because of that. In fact, it might have even made the note sound weaker and not as impactful. So let's get it back to E174. So I like the idea of there being some sort of melody on one side of your ear. Um, but I don't know if the flute is the appropriate one for that or if that's actually what the marimba needs to be doing. I haven't even implemented the marimba yet, so let's see. Oh, and I never made the leads here louder like I said I was going to do. Yeah, let's start you at 30, then. Okay. OMG. I am hitting all the wrong keys. There we go. Where are my other parts of the flute? That's definitely louder. I just need to find the other part that's fluting it up. And right here, that's part of it. Yeah, so 50, 55, 60. Dun, 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 dun. Then let's have it at 60 for now. I think that's the harmony, right? Isn't it? It's gonna make a click in. Oh, never mind. That's just the end. Wait, then where is... Oh, wait, it's right there. Right here. We'll put 6. Start at 50. The reason I'm having to put the volume level for every single note instead of just on one of them is because we have that volume slide happening, so it's going to have to be reset every time we reach a note so that they're consistently the same volume and have that decay that I want the notes to have. I don't like to do that to the instrument, like here in the instrument editor settings, because I never plan for these to be like permanent changes. They're usually part-time, which is what the effects are for. Yeah, so that's louder. We're gonna have to listen to it in full now. A lot of more ideas that need to get fleshed out there. So let's... Gonna listen from the beginning. Sometimes I just gotta do that. It's like a reset for my brain. So what I don't like is that the lower part of the flute is pretty loud midway through, and I can't hear the regular melody from the lead anymore. All right, I think the higher part of the lead is right here. Yeah, so that means I had put the volume levels at the same, but, well, sort of, but this needs to be lower. It's too much. Let's try this. We're gonna go down. Yep. I don't know if that'll be enough. Doom, 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 doom. That sounds a little weird to me when we had listened to it, but I think once I finish the other part of the lead, it might become a bit less. Yeah, we're just going to use the word less as an adjective. Let's see. I want soloist vibes right here. Like, imagine a lead violinist or something being given like a melody that's to stand out on top of the orchestra, and the part that they're given is up for interpretation. So it's like, oh, I'll put vibrato here if I feel like it, or a grace note here, blah blah blah. I've always liked that about solo leads. It's like you have, the sheet music in front of you, but depending on the musician playing it, and I guess the conductor that you're working with, there's always some sort of unique interpretation of the piece. Just trying to breathe some life into this lead. And also talk a bunch and distract myself. Let's try that. It's tapering off in volume. Oh, I have the vibrato. The vibrato is still a thing. No longer needs to be right there. Oh, remember when I said that the notes were close together, and so my portamento needed to be low, but now that there's notes in between those two, it's now too slow. Kind of getting pyramid vibes. I don't think that's what I want, but that's what's happening at the moment. Uh, it's a little messy right now. I can tell that there's an idea there that seems promising, but there's too many missing elements to be sure, as well as a little bit of incorrectness between these two channels. Oh, I forgot about that. If you hit Control Enter, it like auditions the frame that your cursor's resting at. It also auditions that annoying click from the echo. All right. Think I'm gonna figure out what I want to do with the strings. Which ones are those? I think that's so 03 is our marimba. 01 is the string. Which we have three. We have a whole chord going on here, but then that gets replaced by a bit of bass. And I only left one string note remaining here to tie off my chord and not have it suddenly disappear. What other things do I got going on here? Ew. Never mind. So many instruments. Okay. I think I'm gonna stick with the string and just have to play around with it. Cello doesn't sound like a cello until you get into the lower octave. Sort of. Let's mess with... Well, first, in order to do that, so the release is currently at 10 for the cello, because that's what the preset is for the instrument itself. Let's set the release to something else and see how that sounds. How about... Hmm. I'm also gonna, just for now, no, I did that because that's also a terrible sound. There. Yeah, so using enable echo buffer again, I guess, disables it. I just don't want that to be a thing right now. So let's... No, I think it said to 1F. Yeah, so that is very dry now. Which might be what I want. Not that extreme, but close. Fact. I There is something that I like about this cello, but it's also giving me a wrong place, wrong time sort of feel. Um, Inconsistency, basically. I want frames 1 and 2 to have sort of the same instrumentation, but that cello is just bringing a completely different feel to the table that is not fitting that measure. So I'm going to put it down there because I think I'm going to want something like that in the lower end when I switch things up. Just to remind me that I had an idea. So sounds too quick. This lead over here sounds too quick. These are the same notes. Sounds like it's offering a sort of conclusive feel to the lead because, you have each part doing its thing in one of your ears, but then suddenly at the end, the final note is in both ears. Something needs to happen on the higher end that is probably going to come from the marimbas that I haven't done yet. Let's see. Oh, that's right. Baby, come back. But what do I want to do? It's so interesting that I'm using the marimba instrument for a sustain right there at the beginning, because, I mean, think of a real-life marimba, it ain't gonna sustain like that. I mean, I could be impressed, but I wouldn't think so. But it's kind of doing it really subtly right here. Oh yeah, that's right. I have nothing going on with the pulse channels right now. I think it's going to be the same vibe for that pulse kick that we got. So we're going to copy everything from that frame, bring it over here. But the notes are going to have to change, obviously. Yeah, that might be a bit too high pitch. That too. Uh, so the kick is nice there, but upon getting to the next transition, I'm wondering if that needs to be a lower pitch progression, which the NES channels actually can't afford that, which means I would have to switch over to the VRC6's pulse. I'd have to reallocate stuff, basically. that I have all these other elements coming into place, it is officially apparent that the pluck part from the saw channel has incorrect notes. Yeah, that's gonna need to be different. Like right there, that it's just doing its regular thing it was doing in the last measure, but it's actually, I think it needs to climb up with the other stuff. So let's see, what instrument? 39. That was supposed to solo. There we go. Got to go up a couple octaves. Up more octaves. There's one note incorrect there. I think I just forgot to change it. Which one was it? Yeah, it's like a lower note. Is it this one? Yeah, I think it's A sharp. So, or maybe not. Tripping myself up. I'm too invested. I'll come back and listen to that later and focus on the other parts. The marimba is still the next big thing. I don't think we really decided what's happening there. Or, well, no, we did right here. It's the string instruments. Okay, so because, like I said, we're using those, we have a chord happening. A developing chord. Okay, I completely forgot that I did that. It's only, the development's only happening in one channel though, and while the other two other notes are sustaining. Yeah, and then I stopped the sustains to bring in the bass where I needed it because I didn't have any other channel space. So if I were to focus on that right now, open SNES, string, and what happens at the beginning here? I don't know if the strings are doing anything right off. No. Actually, there's a note right there. Except I don't have, there's no volume because in the previous frame, I got the FAXX command going on. There's a volume slide going down right there. Yeah, so it's at 0 volume. I need to reset it. And then probably turn that command off. Let's just start at 20 for now. So we'll go FA0, except I'll do it in the right spot this time. There. Let's hear how that measure sounds coming in from the previous. I had enough channels for a 3-note chord. And I still do. I got worried for a second. I thought this was being used, but this effect is just for timing. Um, but I might move the bass away from here so that my chords are together. Though I honestly don't care. That's too loud. It's also too high. We're going to probably play around with the lower notes. Okay, let's jump back here. I'm comparing right now the progression, because the progression of the previous measure is probably going to influence how I do this next one. I don't need to listen to the whole thing though. We're gonna right here. It's so subtle, but it works. And since I'm focusing on those chords, I should probably have them soloed. I don't know what notes I want yet, I just know where I want them to come in. That's coming in too late. I want that on offbeat. Let's see. I could do chord stabs, like chord, 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 or I could do what I did in the previous measure, which was that chord with 2 notes sustaining, then the other notes developing. That chord is way too much. Should probably stick around the lower notes. Give me that. I also think I'm using... Yeah, I'm using FA right there. See, I'm starting super quiet. I'm at 10. And then I tell it with the FA command, fast volume slide, to climb upward. So... And then it tapers off. I might do that again. What is it? FA 10, I think. And those notes are wrong. Right. That's gonna have to turn off right here. Even actually be, I might have it in. Let's do 0, 1. Because then the note will dissipate. Very long taper. But I think when all the other instruments come into play, it's not going to be too noticeable. It'll be just right. It's going to have to start more subtle. It's a little too powerful right now. There's also not enough happening at the beginning, I don't think. But I'm going to hold on that thought, and I feel like I'm going to focus on the pulse stuff that I was talking about over here between pulse 2 and VRC61. To show you what I mean, I'm going to solo these channels here. Got a little echo thing going on. Yeah, so I need to bring that here, just with different notes, different progression. Probably the same effect, though. So let's see. So I'm going to listen to the previous measure, see how it transitions, and see what my brain throws at me. Ooh, yeah, those strings are so... They just exist so much right now. I'm gonna turn them down for now. And then what instruments was I using for that pulse shenanigan? So 2E, that's the snare, and then 27, that's just the blank, the regular note. That's it. And I'm pretty sure the reason I did that I couldn't tell you the reason I did that, actually. It's not coming to me right now. There's probably a reason, but we're just going to roll with it for now. I'm going to just lay out the notes that I want for the next measure. Lower octave. Yeah, I think those are the right notes. They don't have the effects that we need yet, though. As you can see, got all this stuff going on. I could probably afford to... Oh, that's why I switch between instruments. I'm using the blank notes with the O, 0A, XY command, and I'm doing volume slides downwards, which essentially creates the same effect as the snare, but the notes sound just different enough that it makes the tune sound slightly more unique. Yeah, so let's go ahead and we're going to copy the instruments and any effects in that channel and paste them in the next measure, because the notes are in the same place pretty much. Except for right there. What's that going? So I need to figure out how to tie up the ending of that. Got a note down here with no effects. It looks like I'm jumping between different timbres. So I'm going 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, which means this would be 2. Um, Interesting. I don't think that's happening in the previous one, which means I did something incorrectly. Oh no, I don't, never mind. Oh, that's what I'm doing incorrectly. The accent note is in the wrong spot. So I can't just copy paste everything. I need to, at least to my knowledge, I need to recreate those effects. So let me analyze it one more time. So actually, I don't even think I need what was up here. No, because that was just to disable the effects that were active in the pickup measure. So I was basically just being lazy, and I need to go ahead and suck it up and type in these effects. So let's recreate the pattern first for the duty cycle command. 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. That's what we got going on. It ends at 1 right here. So we'll start at 2. 0, 1, 2. 0. Oops, that's the volume. And once I have those, I can just copy, paste. Oops. Make sure I paste in the right spot. Bam. Okay. Oh, yeah. And every note that I want to be an accent note, which is like the downbeats of certain measures, needs to be the blank instrument. You'll get to see how this sound evolves. So this is what it's going to sound like right now. Right, that's way too powerful. Oh, I'm just changing them right now. Not that one. Was it 27? Then... Yeah, so now the 0A command comes in where all those blank notes are, and it's going to have a value of 0.2, which means the note is going to be sliding down in volume at whatever speed 2 dictates. I don't actually know, but as long as it feels good, then we're good. And then copy that and be pasting it. Be pasting it where it is needed. And we'll get to hear what this sounds like. Dun, 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 dun. Copy paste. Oh, and because the volume slide is active, we have to turn it off on the next note because we don't want it to be happening to these notes. So I'm actually going to copy that and then paste. Oh, and I'll explain it as I'm doing this. The volume has slid downward to 0 pretty much. And the volume needs to be reset so that all the notes can be heard. That's why when I played it back, you didn't hear a thing. So looks like I was doing 9, 7, 6. What does this sound like? But then I was just staying at 6 and resetting at 6 every time I needed to. Okay, so yeah, we'll just do that for now. This could easily change later as we implement other ideas into the measure. I try not to worry too much about the volume sort of stuff because it's always changing as you're adding instruments, changing your ideas for stuff, and so your overall balance is just changing. So it's even if I got it to sound how I wanted to currently, it would probably start sounding distasteful later on as I add other stuff. It's definitely got some more stuff to figure out there, but for now, we can copy this whole measure and let's see where I placed this. So it's 2 notes off. Let's see, 1205, and I have it. It's the same timbre. I never use the 12 command again, so the part that echoes stays the same. So when I copy everything, I shouldn't have to have any of these effects. It'll already be what it is, and everything will already be turned off from the previous measure. So I'll just do it. I'll just do it, and oh, that's the other thing. I'm gonna have to change the instruments because this is the VRC6 chip. So yeah, that won't be a big deal though. So it should be right there. Um, and I'm doing things differently. For for some reason, I am doing. It looks like I'm doing something different, at least right here. I don't want to trip myself up. Let me focus on the instruments for now. So 37 cymbal. I'm gonna solo this too, see which each one is doing. That's right. Okay, I remember why I did that now. Dun, dun. So the downbeat, like the accented note, it's not something that tapers off. Instead, it's something that fades in and creates a sort of cool like attack effect. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. I did that on accident that last stream too, but I definitely vibe with it. So 37, I'm gonna change, I think everything except for the attack part. Those are 32, which is blank. Okay. Uh, Instead of doing it one by one, I'm gonna change everything. Right click to 37, and then just go through the downbeats and make it 32, which is gonna be that. And while I'm at it, get rid of all the effects going on here. And this is just for me, 1205. I don't need to do this technically, like when I render it, you know, because it's already 1205 here, which means in the next measure it will be that. But if you're editing a project like this and you're starting off in this measure and playing back from this measure, I'm pretty sure it doesn't remember the timbre that it was in the previous. Might be wrong. Might be gaslighting right now. Hold on. Yeah, never mind. I don't know why I do that then. And what was the attack? It was... Da, 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 da. Cool. So, dun, dun, dun. Actually, I can just do this. I'll copy the instrument, copy the volume part, then start pasting it. And it's just every 2 notes. Yep. And I don't think I was doing anything special. Other than that, see, I have it jump into the next measure right here, so I think I need to go 5, 6 at the beginning here. Then I'll just cut it off for now so that it doesn't sustain. Let's listen to that. Ooh, that is a lot right now. It's gonna need stuff. Gonna need stuff. Gotta do stuff to it. Gotta save my project. Okay. Let's see. It's getting there. The marimba is going to be the next thing that I need to put in and play with the string progressions. I need to finish my idea with the lead over here. See, a lot of stuff is just stopping and it's losing its vibe. So we're getting there though, and I'm recapping everything because I'm actually going to have to get off of here. I'm going to play through the whole song though one more time, and yeah. Cool. Yeah, so we'll have fun cleaning that up next week. I'm excited to start this official stream. The hope is for it to be at 10 a.m. every Thursday, and I'll go ahead and be posting an announcement. I didn't today, but now that I've done this, I'm feeling good about it. And it looks like the stream quality went well. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see y'all in the next stream. Have a good day.